I was just praying this morning for my daughter. God, my son, my wife, myself, would you help us to be more humble like Jesus? We may not like the results of that, but what the situations he puts us in and the people he puts in our lives that cause that. So, but that's a genuinely true thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he'll be with us in it. It's not like he's, yep, here's the thing that you didn't think you wanted, and here it is, and then sayonara. We've got a companion in that to walk us through.
I think everyone should write a book. You grow so much. And then you have respect for other people who wrote books. Well, people like stories and they like to hear wisdom. So you should really write your own story and then throw in the stuff that you learn. Let's do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The other one that was a real biggie for the inner shaping was probably 2010 or so. There was a guy named Zig Ziglar.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the late 80s and 90s and early 2000s, he was considered the most successful man in America.
Wow.
On some polls.
Yeah.
He would charge $50,000 to speak for 1 hour at a stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote 30 some odd books and everything. Mm-hmm. So I got to have lunch with him. His son, a friend of mine knew his son. So they said, "You want to go to lunch together?" I said, "Sure. Cool. Absolutely." We drove up from San Antonio to Dallas. And, you know, he taught Sunday school at his church for years and years. It really
he used to have a seminar at Baylor, I think.
Oh, he did?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to have, and I sat right, there were just 6 of us. I sat right across the table from him. And I asked him, okay, what do if all your books disappeared off the whole world, all your audio tapes and DVDs and like your courses, everything that said Zig Ziglar disappeared off the earth.
Yeah.
And you could only leave us with one book. What would you write about? And I didn't even say pertaining to success or anything. Just what would you write about? And he said 3 things. He said, I would write about these three things. He said, court your spouse because success starts at home. And like, try to win them over like you're dating.
Yeah.
And then he said, encourage everyone. And then he said, try to help everyone around you to be as successful as they can be.
Yeah.
And he said, if you do those, you'll have everything you ever dreamed or wanted.
Wow.
Dreamed of or wanted.
Yeah.
But that's not why you do them, but all of those are other people focused.
Yeah.
And so what I realized, I was like, hey, I'm kind of me focused. And so, and it's not like a fast thing, but to become, humility is when you think about the self of other people.
Yeah.
Like, God, I want you first, me last. I don't want to get praise. I want you to get praised. God, I want your purposes, you know, that people hear the gospel. I want that. I want more people in your kingdom, become citizens of your kingdom. And me last, like employees first, me last.
Yeah.
And not like, you know, I serve my team, I serve my family, like I provide for them. No, like I realized that I wasn't serving even my wife very well. And so like, hey, could I get you some more milk? Hey, could I? And so I was sitting in a chair and I said to my daughter, she was like 15. I said, hey, honey, could you give me one of those fizzy water things? And she was right by her. She goes, why don't you do it? And I was like, wait a sec. I'm starting to hear this more. I'm noticing it more and more. My son was like, well, why don't you do it for things? And they weren't serving. And then I realized I'm not serving. I need to serve my family. And in little things, not like serve them with providing for them, protecting them, you know, whatever. I need to serve them in little ways. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to rub my wife's feet tonight with no expectation of anything in return. Yeah. And so I got the lotion out, the Aveda lotion stuff. And she's like, who are you and what did you do with my husband?
And what do you want?
And I was like, no. But she naturally, when I served her, naturally wanted to serve me. And like, let me scratch your back or whatever.
Virtuous.
So like, And so when I started realizing I've been very
Ish.
like I wanted myself to look good and be praised by people, look at my accomplishments, look at how spiritual I am. And like my image, I wanted people to praise that and to recognize that I'm creative or recognize these things. And so I would say and do things to get attention on me instead of attention on my family, instead of attention on God, instead of attention. And so the opposite of humility is when you think about yourself instead of the self of others, rather than to think about the self of others first, me last.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of Bible verses about that, just so you know.
Absolutely. Yes. It's beautiful.
And go ahead.
No, you go.
So anyway, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Then an employee called me out in 2015 and said, 2015 and said, "You're one of the most prideful people that I know."
Oh, wow.
And I said, he was a Christian guy. And I said, real nice guy, good worker and everything. And I said, man, I said, thank you for telling me that. Like in what way? You know, because I don't want to be like that.
Right.
And that was real big of you to confront me on that.
Hang on. Was that your immediate response in your body?
That was.
Wow. Well, then I would have to say I disagree with him, because somebody who's truly prideful would immediately be pissed.
Well, no. So here's what I found out. I thought prideful was like real oversensitive, you know, or like, well, you're saying I'm not perfect. You know, well, I don't think, you know, and upset when someone calls you out. I said something to someone the other day. She said, someone in the family or someone distant, but like not family, blood family. But she said, I'm glad I'm not as sensitive like my brothers and sisters. They're super sensitive. And I go, really? I said, you're pretty sensitive. And she blew up, like left the table, walked out of the room, was really angry, wouldn't talk to me for like a week.
Wow.
And I was like, maybe you're a little sensitive.
Right. Proof's in the pudding.
I thought that we were all at the table. Everyone was laughing like, are you kidding me? That's like the perfect, I'm going to use that forever.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But go back to this pride thing.
So I was like, oh man, he called me prideful. And so then I was driving. I went home and said, hey, honey, guess what? This guy said, you know, Gene said that I was really prideful man. And she said, oh, give me a break. You're one of the most humble men I know, Dave. And like, I go, yeah. She goes, he's probably just jealous or something. And so I said, Gene, like, in what way am I?
Tell me more. Like, absolutely, we want to know
things that I've said or done. And he goes, oh, just in general. And I was like, what? It ended up being a really weird thing. Well, I was driving back to work that week, and I was listening to the book, The Ideal Team Player, Patrick Francione, and he said, you know, you want humble, hungry, and smart with people. Hungry to do work. They're not like just working to fish. I just have to get a paycheck so I can fish, you know, or travel.
Yeah.
They want to do good work. They're driven. And he said, so humble, hungry, and humble, they can take criticism and they can, you know, but he said, watch out for the prideful people. He said, they're the worst people to have on your team. And he said, they're in disguise. He said, a lot of times they're quiet, helpful, smiley. They do excellent work. They put their head down, do good work, and then they go home. And you could never tell that they're prideful by just their work, but they're really prideful in other ways. And I thought, I wonder if maybe I don't have a full definition of what pride is. Yeah. So I got to the office and I Googled signs of pride list. That's what I put in the search bar. Signs of pride list. Hit it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what pride is. And another list, just bullet points with little explanations. And I started collecting them. I got a few on my phone and I came home that night and I said, honey, I think I'm the problem at our business.
Mm.
I said, what Gene said is true. I just didn't know this is what pride looked like.
Mm.
So I read my little list of what I'd gotten out of these lists.
Yeah.
5 or 6 things. And she goes, ha 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 ha, you are prideful.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm dying. Tell me the list.
Oh, so I'd have to go through it again, but like you want like the image of being a spiritual man. I would say and do things so that people would say, dude, spiritual. And I would practice my prayers. So I wouldn't, they say one of the signs is on the spiritual list, there are several lists of things, but like if you pray differently in public than you do in private, then if you're just talking to God privately, then you get in front of people and you want to pray fancy.
Dearest Father. Yeah.
You have the week's schedule for the whatever thing, you know, in your prayers, or you have little sermonettes in your prayers. Those, they're like, why would you do that? Otherwise, other than you're trying to impress people.
Yeah.
And people who never ask questions of people, they don't ask, they're not interested in other people. So therefore they don't want to get to know them because they're just interested in their own self.
Yeah.
That's a sign of pride. They're not, yeah, it's myself. Look at me and how much I know.
Yeah.
And so people who just know everything, you're like, wow, how impressive. What a person, what a mind that person has. That'd be the pride of knowledge.
Yeah.
And anyway, so it turns out they're like, so I started gathering these, I got like 50 lists of signs of pride. I put them all together. And then I sorted them and categorized them over several months. And there are about 22, maybe 24 categories. Imagine a table of little jars, little mason jars.
Yeah.
All 24 of them. And some are filled to the brim with water and it's even bubbling up. You're like, dude, how is that not spilling over?
The convex.
And other ones are like dusty in there. And some have a little bit and they go up and down, you know, a little bit of pride. We all have it.
Yeah.
But some were chock full. I had 3 or 4 that I was really prideful. Some that I was medium prideful. And some I was genuinely humble.
Yeah.
I was genuinely humble.
So a mix.
It's a mix. And so anyway, that was a huge, and then I said to my wife, I said, hey, honey, on those lists, after she laughed at me and said, you are prideful. I said, you know, there were some other things on the list. Let me read them to you. And they were hers.
Just so we're even.
Just so we're even. And she said, oh my gosh, I didn't know that's what pride was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what I do is prideful. And I had the little explanations with them and stuff. I didn't have all those yet. And so she said, I said, will you pray for me? The only one who can change me is God. That he has, because the only time Jesus ever described his heart, he said, it's humble. That's all. He just said, it's humble. The only time Jesus described his heart is God first, me last. All of mankind first, me last. Everyone else first, me last. That's humble.
Yeah.
And prideful is me first, everyone else last. Me first, God last.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was doing that, and that was really, so this was the biggest thing for our marriage.
Wow.
Was our pride. And it still flares up, and I still have to, but I'm aware of it now. I didn't know what it was before.
Yeah.
And Gene, he didn't know the half of it.
Right.
And so it was really a big deal. And so I put that on our website. It's saddlebackleather.com/pride or signs of pride. If you Googled signs of pride.
Interesting.
And so it was our #1 page on our website. People finding it organically without even going to our site and then finding a link somewhere.
Oh, wow.
1,200 people a day were coming to our site reading signs of pride.
Wow.
So it was a big topic.
That's amazing. I just how it almost turned into a ministry, right?
Yeah.
But to me, this is really interesting because I love to play with juxtapositions and things that don't quite fit together, because you investigating that is a humble act. So the fact that, I mean, that shows to me that you dug in to and do the introspective work to say, where is their pride? But a truly prideful person would not have responded that way. So there was something that convicted you or made you open to that in a way that someone less able to sit with that and hold that could not have done.
Well, yeah, I think most people would go. So I'm humble in that area. I can take constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the jars where I'm pretty dry in there. I can.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you brought this up. I wasn't aware I was doing that. Will you forgive me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a humble thing to do. And I'm pretty good at asking for forgiveness and acknowledging when I'm wrong. But then there are other categories where you're really prideful in, and you have to, oh, here it comes again. I want to say this, or I don't want to say that. And always like super defensive people, that's a prideful thing.
Yeah.
They were talking about people who are like, low self-esteem is pride.
Right.
It was like, because they're lying about what's true. Like for a girl, oh, Betty, you deserve such a great man. Why are you with this loser? No, I'm not pretty or anything. And they're gorgeous or something.
Yeah.
I'm a loser. That's false humility. They know they're beautiful. They know they're not a loser. And so that's a false humility.
Yeah.
And so, which is pride.
Interesting. I mean, can we get in somebody's psyche that way? I don't know. Like they may have been taught that you shouldn't be beautiful. And so that's a part of themselves that they squash.
Yeah. Rick Warren said that humility is saying what is true. I'm good at this. That's a humble statement. I'm good at this. When you lead with it so that people will praise you, hey, guess what? I'm really good at this. I won an Olympic medal in archery or something, whatever you'd say. Yeah. I'm really good. And you're trying to impress people with yourself.
Yeah.
That's different. That's a pride flag. But someone go, are you good at any sports? Yeah, archery. Actually, I won a gold medal one time. It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
Right. Curling. I'm really good at curling or something.
Yeah.
But to say what's not true, like I'm good at everything, that's pride.
Right.
So humility is saying what's true, and pride is saying what's not true. And so, and trying to get people to think that you don't sin.
Yeah.
Trying to get people to think that you're ultra spiritual. Trying to get people to think that you're brilliant, that you're a great leader, that you have no holes.
Yeah.
Trying to get people to think that you're really super interesting so that they'll like you or something. Anyway, it's really involved.
Not being authentic. Yeah, it's a really interesting thing to pull the threads on that because there's a rich conversation.
But that changed my business too, because I started realizing I was all about myself and I wasn't about my employees as much.
Yeah.
And so because I wanted to impress people with me. And so all of these things kind of coming together, God was shaping me, and I still struggle with it. It never goes away for anybody.
Yeah. And but then I would also say, would you have created what you've created if you didn't have some pride? So I feel like we push toward things because of who we are now, and God uses that to heal us and pull us out of that thing. That, if I didn't have some measure of confidence around something, or some idea that how some of collective growth is born out of, at least at some time, I can do this better than somebody else. Right. So it's that sense that drives, and then we're going to have something in our lives that counter it. So it's kind of this appreciation of, I'm glad, Dave, that you had this in you that made you create Saddleback leather. And then now God's going to do a work in you to balance you out.
God is using Saddleback leather to highlight things so that he can shape me to be more like Jesus, which is humble.
Yeah.
And so, God uses all of our flaws and everything too.
Sure does.
But anyway, that's so the business, I would say everyone should start a business.
Yes. Please join Water's Warm, because you will learn more about yourself and all of your motivations and who you think you are faster than any other way.
Yeah. So get married and start a business.
Get married, have kids, start a business.
Get married, have kids, start a business.
Like, you're covering everything that you could need to become about as humble as you can be.
and just keep on praying. God, I was just praying this morning for my daughter. God, my son, my wife, myself, would you help us to be more humble like Jesus?
Yeah. Oh,
And we may not like the results of that, but what the situations he puts us in and the people he puts in our lives that cause that. So, but that's a genuinely true thing. So
that's right.
Yeah.
And he'll be with us in it. It's not like he's like, yep, here's the thing that you didn't think you wanted, and here it is, and then sayonara. No, we've got a companion in that to walk us through.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Will you tell us, as we round out the hour, and it's gone so fast, about your book that you wrote?
Yeah, They'll Fight Over When You're Dead. So we got audiobook of the year for 2025 from a really big audiobook like collective group for everything. That was really a neat honor. So I just tell the story of how it all started, the federal sent to kill me, and blue, and all these different things that happened, a bullfight, and then I added in. So Zig Ziglar, when I met with him, he said, "You really need to write a book." He told all of us, "You really need to write a book. You really need to write a book." He said it like 12 times.
Wow.
He was 82.
Wow.
And I didn't realize, but it's because it shaped, you have to think through things and work through your wording and concepts, and you regurgitate, and it helps you so much to write a book. So, and also doesn't hurt to, hey, author, speaker, Dave Munson,
Absolutely. I loved saying that when I introduced you.
Yeah. And so
author, CEO, founder, and CEO.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
So there's a lot to that for credibility, and let's listen to what the guy has to say. He wrote a book,
That's right.
So, so wrote the book, and I was like, how do you start? Like, everyone's like, you got to write the book, Dave. You got to write. All the customers, like, you got to write a book and tell little stories along the way.
Yeah.
And so I just started. I put in a Google Doc, 1996, 1997, 1998. I put spaces in between.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, graduated from college in 1996. There's a little. That's all I put.
Yeah.
Youth pastor, 97. Oh, yeah, I remember that in 2012. That happened. The whatever, the federale, the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this, and I just started putting out stories. And then later I wrote them, filled them in, stuff like that. And then they reminded me of other stories. So I just started putting in stories, making stories, a chronological timeline.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, that lesson I learned. Never trust anyone who insists that you trust them. Oh yeah, Adam. I learned that around 2000.
Trust me, Dave.
Between 2008 and 2012, I learned that one. You never trust a person who insists you trust them.
Oh.
And then I was like, and then marketing. What I found out I was accidentally doing was this. So here's what I did. Here's what you should be considering doing in marketing. So I put all the branding, how to come up with a personal brand, and all the really simple things. And so anyway, all the things I learned about doing business and through business and in spiritual things too. Yeah. So I shared the gospel 3 times really clearly in the book.
Yeah.
As I was sharing the gospel with this man who was trying to kill me, I shared the gospel with him, and he came up and gave me a big hug, and then I fell asleep, and then he was next on the other bed next to me, and then all that stuff. And so I shared the gospel, and then I said, so anyone reading the book is going to hear the gospel. And then, but anyway, it's all of this. Wow. So I wrote the book, and it's a really fun book, but it also is lessons learned, and really a lot of it's to Christians.
Yeah.
Like lame-o Christians who don't do anything. They just go to church. Like, not that I can't stand those guys.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to life.
There's a lot more.
A lot more to a life than that. So, and a lot more to our faith than that. So I try to encourage them to maybe think differently about their business, about their purpose, about their family, their marriage. So I put all those things into the book. But that's how this chronological start filling in, and then things naturally group together. And then I had someone go through and kind of cut out stuff that didn't really flow. just from a different set of eyes. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool.
That's amazing. How long did it take you start to finish?
Oh, like 5 years.
Wow. It lives. It's like it breathes.
Yeah. And now the kids have all of my stories.
Mm.
Every story I could think of that didn't even pertain to that. And jokes I learned along the way and stuff like that. They're all in there. If anyone ever down the road my kids wanted to go, the grandkids wanted to go through, oh, Grandpa did this,
Oh, that's amazing.
It's all there. So.
Yeah. It's a bit larger than life, I think.
Yeah. I think everyone should write a book.
Yeah.
You grow so much.
Yeah.
And then you have respect for other people who wrote books because, man, it's a bunch of work.
Absolutely.
So I would do it at like 6 a.m, 6 to 8 or so. I would write.
Get that writing in. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. You should write. Have you written a book?
I haven't written a book yet. I have ideas for books. Yes. I've done a lot of I put together leadership programs, and I have an executive coaching program that was like the process of writing a book, because it was a lot of writing, but not the same story arc. So I'm interested in that. So,
well, people like stories.
Yes, they do.
And they like to hear wisdom. So you should really write your own story and then throw in the stuff that you learned.
Yeah. I love that idea. I might have to keep you on tap for advice.
Just start with the Google Doc. The best way to write a book is to start. To start,
exactly. That's kind of the only way, actually, but also the best.
Just keep it up on your screen. Keep a Google Doc up. And just, this one. You got to make sure that you do this personality test.
Yeah.
And then leave it. And then go back to your regular work again. And then, that reminds me. And then you go back there and throughout the day and just a little sentence. Not even, don't have a period. You don't even have to use a capital letter.
Yeah.
Like, just write it down. And that, once you start, that's when it starts rolling.
Yeah. That's awesome. Are you an Enneagram 4?
I think I'm a 7.
Are you a 7? Okay, yeah.
I forget. I haven't really. It's been a little while.
Yeah, you could very well be. I'm a 7, actually, an enthusiast.
Yeah. So, I haven't studied those. It's been a while. It's been a couple of years since I went through that, so I'm not as well versed. But I know you have the next number is your wing with a wing, 8 or 6 or something. A 4.
Oh, you're 7 wing 8.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll speak truth to people.
Yes. 7 wing 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
What are you? 7
wing 8. Yeah.
Yep. Speak truth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. I can't wait to listen to the book. I mean, it's about the only way I can read these days, because by the time I hit the pillow, I'm just out. But thank goodness for audiobooks. And yours won Book of the Year. So can't wait to listen.
Yeah, it's a real blessing. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So, one of the other things too, the giant for my business. It was giant. And I'm going back to it again. For 3.5 years, I didn't have a smartphone.
You went analog?
Yeah, I just had a light phone. It's called Light Phone. And it's like an e-ink screen. Yeah. And I have one next to on my nightstand. I just need to move my number over to it now.
Yeah.
But I had one before for 3.5 years and it crapped out. And so I was waiting for the upgraded one with the camera, but it doesn't have any apps on it. It has an alarm. You can text on the e-ink screen, like normal texting. It's not like 331-777. Bowling.
Back in the old day.
Yeah. It does voice to text. You can have music on it. You can have podcasts, all that stuff. It has a camera. It has directions, but not a map. And so
that would be a lifestyle change.
It changed my life, and I started reading again.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't have that stupid time suck there.
Right.
And they say if you want to fix the problem of kids, the screen time with kids, fix the problem of parents, screen time with parents.
That's right.
And so my wife just said, yeah, I'm switching too. And we're really busy people.
Yeah.
My brother works for Microsoft. He said he could never go back to a smartphone again. He went to the light phone.
Wow.
Your memory comes back, your attention span comes back. It increases your prayer life, your reading. You can read for longer periods without getting bored and wanting to go do something else.
Yeah.
And I look at news on the iPad.
Yeah.
But I just don't have a distracting little computer in my pocket.
That's beautiful. I think that could be a reasonable goal for me in 2020, either the like Q4 of 2027 or 2028.
Well, in history, people have done remarkable things without smartphones.
That's true. But trying to run a business with AI and no smartphone?
AI, it's great for research, and it's people illustrate things with AI, little cartoons and stuff. It's really great. It has a lot of really good things about it. But we refuse to use it to replace creative, like writing or text or any kind of drawings or paintings. We do a lot of paintings and stuff.
Oh, I love that.
So I refuse to use it. And so I'm going to start doing my newsletter now and then with handwriting. I'm going to handwrite my newsletter, and we're going to take a photo of it and send the photo of the newsletter.
I love it. That's awesome.
Not AI.
Not AI.
And here I am, writing.
That's so cool. I love that, Dave. That's awesome.
So, but anyway.
Thank you so much for being here today. It's been such a joy to visit. I know all of our listeners are going to love this episode and are going to want to hear more in your book. And remind us of the name of your book.
They'll Fight Over It When You're Dead.
They'll Fight Over It When You're Dead. Love it. So many great stories of your life. Can't wait to listen. And Dave, just thank you for sharing your wisdom on life and on leadership today. It's been a joy to get to talk to you.
Well, thanks. It was a joy talking with you. You have a great spirit about you. You're a real easy to get along with, very amicable spirit. So that's nice.
Thank you. I know
you don't always meet people like that.
It's good to share this space with you. I appreciate all that you're doing in the world. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us on Inner Work. Great to have you here with the incredible, inimitable Dave Munson. And we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.